Like, as far as my kid hunting alone
Yeah.
versus like hunting alone with a gun, there's two different things to me. Like, my daughter can take her crossbow and she can still be in distance that I can see her.
Hmm.
And I feel comfortable with that. Now, to her be 100 yards down and I can still kind of see her and she's got a gun, I don't know. I'm still a little, maybe a year or two, right?
Yeah. I think if I was able to set her up on the tree and then leave, because that's when I was a kid, that's what would happen. My mom or my stepdad would walk me to the tree and then they would leave and go somewhere else. They'd get me
Hmm.
up in the tree. I'd sit down, I'd turn around. They said, "Are you good?" "I'm good." And then they would go away somewhere
Right,
else.
right.
Right. And so I'm just kind of, it's going to have to be like a trial and error thing, really, is
Yeah,
what it's going to have to do. And to be honest with you, the only way you can really trust, obviously safety's first. Don't get me wrong, safety's
yeah,
first.
yeah.
But the only way you can trust them is by doing it. And then it wasn't too far after, like after that, where maybe I was 14, I was walking in the dark by myself to my tree stand by myself. And that's only 1 year older than my daughter is now.
Yep.
And so I don't know if she would be comfortable with that walking in the dark, but I can remember being freaked out of my mind walking in the woods as a 14
Well,
as a 14-year-old, like in the dark with some handheld flashlight that you got at Walmart, looking for the reflector on the trail so I could climb up to the ladder stand in the dark. And it was even at a different property. This was before cell phones. And so as you stay here until you hear my truck horn, and then I'll come up,
yeah.
you know?
I we've got a 10-year-old girl and a 10-year-old boy, and so, like, my son and her daughter, if we were to give them a responsibility, they'll do the responsibility, right? But they're not necessarily gonna go to the extra effort and, like, pick this or that up on the way to that responsibility, and so I think there is a transition definitely between being, like, 10 and 13, but I also feel like there's a huge transition from 13 to 16,
Oh, yeah.
so age-wise, I mean, they definitely mature, and a lot of it, I think, can be evaluated just by watching them with those tasks and responsibilities. And not only that, but the responsibility that they take of their own possessions, not
Yeah.
just like a chore.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I feel that. I feel that. Yeah. So I'm trying to, I want to maybe test the waters with my daughter, and it's a pump shotgun.
yeah.
I'd give her a 20 gauge pump, and it has a red dot on it. So I feel like she's pretty responsible to be able to do that. Now, would I let my son do it right now? Absolutely not.
No,
Absolutely not.
no.
Right. And would I let him, if if even the progression that he's on as a 13-year-old? Probably not. Probably just from a maturity level, probably not.
Well, so this is exactly what I was saying. That so my son's 10, and for the last 2 quarters of school, they have to get these AR goals for reading, right? And a couple quarters ago, I said, "You're not going to hit your goal, are you?" "Nope, nope, not going to hit it." And I'm like, "Why not?" "Because you're not doing it. You got to do the
Yeah,
reading on your own. I'm not reading
yeah,
the book for you."
yeah,
And so I finally got a little irritated last quarter, and I said, "Dude, that's it. Like, you need to promise me you're getting this AR goal. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to start taking either something away or we're cutting something out because I do above and beyond what a lot of parents do. I give for you above and beyond. To me, when I ask you to do this, this isn't for me. This is for you." So we went through this whole thing and the quarter just ended, he didn't get his goal, right? So I took his tablet, I took his TV away, and I'm like, now what are we gonna do different this time? And so this time we're going through the whole, man, he's like freaking out. He's reading books, he's reading books, he's reading books, he's right at my side. He's like, "Dad, do you need anything? Dad, do you need help? Dad, do you need this?" And it's great, right? But I also want it to be like a learning tool, because like it's not only just reading this book, but it's also later in life when you have to show up to work at 7 o'clock that, hey, maybe showing up at 10 to 7 or quarter to 7 is going to help you down the line instead of being like, oh, I don't feel like going to work or I'm showing up late.
yeah. Yep, yep, absolutely.